I've had questions about my guitar, which is a modded LTD EC-1000 Duncan in vintage black. Let me first explain some things on my guitar journey and share maybe some controversial opinions and rants, mostly about guitar design. Maybe some can be helpful to you. I love playing guitar, but I've had misfortune to find the guitar that suits me the best. Researching, trying and buying and playing to know the guitar takes a lot of time. Most reviews in the internet and YouTube are always lacking some crucial information that I'd be mostly interested in. Like, how does the guitar sit in your lap when you're playing in classical position? What is the weight? Does it have a proper ergonomic design? And so on. I think the closest to serving that information in YouTube are Dr. Andre Flood, Philip McKnight and Landon Bailey. And I've also exchanged some emails and ideas with the Dr. B of Dr. B's Guitars. I'll link their channels below. Trying a guitar in the shop is not an ideal environment for me. You usually don't sit there for hours and you try to remember all the aspects that you want to make sure of. For inexperienced or average player like me, you would need experience on many different models and makes and sometimes pretty in-depth self-awareness of who you are as a player and what your goals are. These things came up the more I got better at playing. When you're young and flexible, you can play guitar upside down, trapped in a small cardboard box if you want to, but as you age, things start to change. Poor posture, bad habits, etc. accumulate and causes issues. I don't play in casual position, as so many do. It turns the shoulder back into a poor angle and causes tension in the back, where some muscles can be very unbalanced. I have small hands that can't do super wide stretches. Repetitive practice like downpicking and unergonomic stuff in work and sports have caused some nerve pains, like sciatic pain or sometimes something similar to golf or tennis elbow. The more you play, the more years go by, the more muscle balance, stretching, light physiotherapy and proper warm-up is what you need. All this has come into my guitar journey. For the past years, I've gone through so many guitars. Some have felt great in the shop, but when you grind it 50 plus hours at home, you learn that there are issues. It baffles me how guitar brands rely on very old designs that do reflect the past and the history, but completely neglects the rise of knowledge in ergonomics, nervous system, joints, repetitive motions, tendonitis root causes, and such. And yes, I'm aware that there are brands that are innovative and do things better, but they are still nowhere near helping the average player like me, and they certainly are not available the same way as with big manufacturers. Big brands also use terms that don't mean anything in 2024. I have no clue what are the differences of 50s, 60s, 70s or 80s style models of a brand X and what those really mean. For example, Gibson relies explaining a model as a 50s style guitar or a 60s style guitar. Well, I'm not Joe Bonamassa or a guitar history connoisseur. I'm looking for something that works and it's made so that it solves problems, not sustains them after over 50 years. Here's some examples of issues with guitars I've played.
All Stratocasters and their million clones have the tone knob where it should not be, always hitting the hand and accidentally adjusting the volume or hitting the pickup switch. The upper fret access sucks because the bolt don't block in the back. If you don't wear a strap, the guitar is so rounded that it slips from your lap. Telecasters are not comfortable to hold because it's a block of wood with no contouring whatsoever. Over time, both guitars annoy the hell out of me. I had an Ibanez RG550. Over time, the ultra-thin neck causes pain in the left hand in the area between thumb and index finger. The electronics needed repair within a year. They started cracking, buzzing. Also another case for not good upper fret access for small hands. Then I changed to Ibanez Quest. Very light and very comfortable guitar. Downsides was that the neck was not stable. It's a bolt-on that kind of bends really easily. The high E string kept falling over the fretboard. The body is so thin that one of the pickup screws popped the back of the body. Switching is complicated and stopped working within a month. Then I've had several Jacksons of different price points and models. Mostly consistent quality, but I've had to sand the necks on for smoothness from all of them. Stock electronics, again, poor quality, so I had to change spots on all of them. The Soloist Pro had a nut cut way too tall, so that was a bummer to change. On the cheap JS32 models, they have uncomfortable hardtail bridges that scratch the picking head a lot. The compound radius necks are nice, but I always seem to have some area where the fret buzz or dead frets was an issue. I think leveling and checkup from Luthier would have worked, but again, more additional costs. Strandberg are on top of their ergonomics, but are only invested in their Enduro neck construction. I could play it with it nicely, but one of the corners of the Enduro neck started to rub my thumb from the first knuckle all the time. Then I had the LTD Viper 1000. Superb neck and playability. Such a comfortable body shape. But a massive neck dive.
I tested out wider straps and some of the wheel balancing weights that some use, but it got so heavy with those. I didn't want to replace one button with another.
Especially annoying is when a brand offers a low-budget, low-quality model that has great features in some ways but completely loses them when offering a better high-spec version. I'm looking at you, Jackson Monarch. Going through all of these things in 5-6 years' time, I did learn a lot, and now I can be pretty sure of what I want and what I look on a guitar. Things like scale length, fret markers, body design, upper neck access, radius nut material, etc. As of recording this video, there is not a single guitar in the mass market that would tick all the boxes in my list. And I'm 100% sure there are thousands of players like me who would most definitely enjoy the kind of guitar I would spec out. The only way to have a proper guitar is either buy a custom designed one or buy a good guitar and invest a bit more money to make it great. Which brings me to my current and only guitar I have, the LTD EC-1000. It taught me that either 24.75 inch or 25 inch is the best scale length for me. The neck and radius are good, bridge, pickups, knob placement, good. The real problem with this guitar is that even though the body is a slim type, it's still a Les Paul copy, without that much of an originality. Only a much better neck. It has 4 kilograms of weight, which is not ideal, and the shape isn't the pinnacle of ergonomic design either. During around 120 hours playing with it, the lack of forearm rest started affecting a nerve and rubbed it so that the ache would spread around the arm and wrist. With physiotherapy and some exercises, I fixed my hand back to normal, but that was a painful month. So why I have it? I have it because I got tired of buying and selling another guitar. I just want to play, not run a guitar shop or be obsessed with things that don't matter, like tone wood. The market didn't have anything to offer, and custom guitar would be very expensive and take months to arrive. As it was otherwise nice to play, I decided to mod it and have the luthier cut and corner nicely. The weight is still an issue, but I take breaks while playing. The nut is slightly off, so there are some unnecessary fret buzz, but that will be fixed later, no problem, and maybe I shape the body a little bit more. So there you have it. If you've had similar experiences or just thoughts on guitar design, please comment them down below. If you want to defend or state one guitar's superiority over another, I don't really care. My guitar journey and physicality is mine, and of course your mileage will and may vary. Looking at the guitar scene from a broader perspective, the up-and-coming brands, builders and innovators are still somewhat hidden from the masses who maybe see the same things as me, or at least the same missing gap in the market. Until next time, like and perspire and go practice your scales and arpeggios.